I just wanted to ask you, Mr Starmer, first of all, we know that Theresa May insists the government has got a strong case to persuade the Supreme Court judges to overturn last week's ruling that parliamentary approval is needed to begin the whole process of leaving the EU. Do you think that'll happen?
Well, she's got a legal right to appeal, but I really think it would be more sensible to stand back and ask the question, is this approach that the Prime Minister is taking of sidelining Parliament, seeking to avoid scrutiny, the right approach? Because at the end of the day, these are the most important set of negotiations in our lifetimes, and it would be better to get consensus in Parliament by being open and putting the basic plan before MPs so that we can all look at it, question it and try to reach agreement. So, of course, technically she can appeal, but it really would be better to act, I think, in a different way.
I'm a little bit confused about Labour's stance on all of this. Jeremy Corbyn appeared to suggest in the Sunday Mirror over the weekend that he'd block plans to trigger Article 50 if the Prime Minister didn't guarantee access to the single market. But later on in the day, things seem to change. What actually is the definitive answer? Well,
I've spoken to Jeremy Corbyn and to Tom Watson, and there's a very clear position. We accept there's a mandate to leave the EU, and we will not frustrate the process by simply voting down Article 50. But the terms upon which we exit are really important, and we will be insisting that the government puts its basic plan before MPs so we can see it, because what we can't have is a vote on Article 50 in a vacuum. But as I say, we will not frustrate the process. I'll be absolutely clear about that.
So you talk about the terms. Does Labour have any red lines?
Well, there are real issues about the relationship with the single market. We think we should have the fullest possible access. There are issues about the customs union, in or out, we think we should be in. There are then concerns and issues about Northern Ireland, about Scotland and Wales. These are issues to be debated. Actually, what the government should be seeking to achieve is consensus. What we don't want is a divided approach going into these such important negotiations. So the government really needs to come clean now and just put its plan before Parliament so we can proceed to examine it and to question it.
What about if Theresa May went for this quickie option, a resolution rather than a bill?
Well, I think just doing a minimal resolution isn't going to work. Having read the judgment, I think they'd have to go further than that in any event. But it's not right to continue this approach, which is to ensure there's no scrutiny. Of course, the detailed negotiations have to be confidential. Of course, there can't be a running commentary for 2 years. But we're entitled to know the basic terms upon which the Prime Minister is intending to negotiate our future. We've all got a stake in this.
Can I just ask you very briefly, as a former Director of Public Prosecutions, do you have full confidence in the judiciary in this country?
I have absolutely full confidence in the judiciary, and I've worked in countries where the judges do as the government asks them to do, and that is highly corrosive of democracy. The judgment on Thursday was a very simple judgment about the rule of law, and whilst people may have different view on the judgment, they should not attack the judges, and it's the duty then of the Lord Chancellor to defend the judges, because they're not in a position to defend themselves. The Lord Chancellor has taken an oath to defend the rule of law and the judges, and it's very important that we all do that. We have independent, strong judges in this country, and that is part of our democratic tradition.
All right, for now, many thanks. Shadow Brexit Secretary Sir Keir Starmer.